NFT.NYC. Let's get a woo. It's great to be here. Today is a special day. It's crazy to reflect on where we were just a year ago. NFTs have grown over 50 times in the last year. NFTs overtook crypto in terms of search volume. Mind-blowing. But I first need to address there's a bear in the room. So by bear, I mean macro markets. Everyone's been asking me, Ivan, what do you think of the markets? Are NFTs dead? Is crypto dead? We've seen this movie before. We need to filter the signal from the noise and focus on building. And that's what we do at MoonPay. We focus on building the infrastructure. Our mission at MoonPay is to onboard the world to Web3. And the reason that's important is two things you need to remember. One is control, and the second is ownership. You should control and own your identity, your data, your property, and your currency. So when I set out to build MoonPay, this was 2018. It was after all the excitement of 2017. Bitcoin reached all-time high in 2017, and it was the same story. People were saying crypto is dead. People thought I was crazy starting to focus on a business around crypto in 2018. But it was the right time to build. And we focused on trying to make it easy for you to own your digital currency. We really believe that the wallet is the foundational infrastructure for all value to move over blockchains. And so if that's the case, we needed to make it easy for people to top up their wallets. And that's what we did. We shipped MoonPay Checkout as our first product. Last year, I got up on the stage here at NFT.NYC, and we launched a new product, MoonPay NFT Checkout. We're going beyond the currency use case. And what didn't make sense to me was I went on OpenSea. It didn't really pass the mom test. You had to go get your wallet first. You had to top up that wallet with cryptocurrency. Then you could buy your NFT, which I felt like we could simplify that process. So if you go to OpenSea today, MoonPay NFT Checkout is live. All you need is a debit or credit card, and boom, you can check out. We take care of the cryptocurrency underneath the hood, and you receive your NFT. MoonPay supports hundreds of apps and platforms, millions of customers, and we've moved billions of dollars worth of digital assets. Over the next decade, we're going to turn millions to billions and billions of digital assets to trillions. But let's reflect for a second and think about where we are with NFTs, because my view is we are in the very beginning. We're in the pioneering phase of this new asset class. NFTs are seen as collectibles. I'm a huge believer. I love collecting NFTs. I think they look super cool. Here I've got some of my collection. I've got an X copy. I've got all sorts of different NFTs. But for me, it's a way I can express my digital identity. It's my digital property. It's really exciting. But I think we have a long way to go to elevate the content of NFTs. So I think the next phase that we're going to see is around real-world utility and functionality. And it's coming. I remember I was on stage last year and I was talking about a bunch of different examples across the different industries, the different ways that we see NFTs be used, but it's real. Now we have major brands. These are all names you've heard of before in the sports, the entertainment, the music, and the fashion industry, the gaming industry that have committed to deploying a Web3 strategy. But if you think about it, this is still really complicated. Let's say you want to start your Web3 strategy. There's a lot of stuff to think through. You got to choose a blockchain. You got to think about deploying node infrastructure. Write a custom smart contract. You got to build a system to manage metadata. You got to think about custody. How are you going to manage your private keys? You got to think about how these systems integrate with your product. You're going to have to manage that smart contract, and you're going to have to think about how you configure and set up royalties. That's a lot. The reason why today is a special day is I'm announcing that MoonPay is no longer just a payments infrastructure company. We're now a Web3 infrastructure company. And it starts with HyperMint. So HyperMint, what is it? We're trying to create, manage, and distribute NFTs at unprecedented scale. I think the next phase of NFTs, we're going to think about NFTs as a new file format. There's going to be hundreds of millions of NFTs. And I'm excited today to announce we're already partnering with some of the biggest global brands. So the first example, Universal. Everyone here has hopefully heard of Universal. I was a huge Jurassic Park fan as a kid. And you can imagine how we can redefine the engagement experience if you're a fan of movies. Imagine, if I watch Jurassic Park, I'm a huge T-Rex fan. Imagine after that film I got an NFT, and I was able to take that NFT to Universal Studios Florida, one of my favorite theme parks, and I'd be able to ride the special, I don't know if you guys been on that water park ride, it's one of my favorite rides, but you have this huge T-Rex at the end of it. But what if I could get early access to that because Universal knew that I was a fan and I'd already watched the movie? These are the kind of things that I think brands are going to be able to have with their end audiences. They're going to be able to redefine that experience. I'd love to be able to announce the new blockbuster films that are going to be leveraging our infrastructure, but I'm under strict confidentiality. You'll hear very, very soon, but I could not be more psyched for this partnership. The second is around a concept that I think everyone can understand around utility NFTs, and that's this concept of phygital or digital twinning. I think digital twinning is going to completely change the fashion industry. The idea that I can own a digital dress and be able to redeem that for a physical dress in store, I think is super cool, and it's something that we made happen already. So we did our first pilot with Paco Rabanne on Selfridges, and the idea is to roll it out to many more brands under the Selfridges umbrella in the near future. Third example is one that I'm super fired up about. It's about music NFTs. Who here is excited about music NFTs? So one of my favorite producers in the world, I think one of the all-time greats, Timbaland, is releasing a new platform called Beat Club. And you can think of Beat Club like Spotify for production. So independent producers can now turn their beats into NFTs and be able to widen the distribution. Before, it was a select few sample of people that could collect those samples and beats. They're going to make it open to everyone, and they'll be able to create and manage those royalties related to those NFTs. So super excited about this. They're leveraging HyperMint. We'll also be leveraging MoonPay's NFT checkout. So who here wants to get HyperMinted? We're going to make it happen right now for everyone in this audience. Who's ready? Good. All right. So, beautiful UI. I think UI can be sexy. I think it's important to focus on nice design and clean design. So we're going to go and we're going to create a smart contract right now. We got to name the smart contract. We're going to call it the HyperMint smart contract. We're going to give it the symbol Moon, and we're going to do it on the Ethereum blockchain. You could do Solana and Polygon as well. We've got many. Then we got to choose. We're going to put up the ERC 721 standard. We want to create unique NFTs, so we're going to go do that. We want single copies of these NFTs. You could also choose 1155, but we're going to go 721. Now, this is important. Do we want people to purchase that NFT, or do we want them to claim it? Because one of the big issues is you have to pay for the gas. But we're going to make it easy for you. You're not going to have to use any gas. We're going to say, no, we're going to take care of that for you. And then we got to decide, where is this metadata ultimately going to get stored? Are we going to put it on IPFS, or we have a managed solution to make it easy, but you can control your destiny where you want your metadata stored? Great. Contract's ready to be created. So let's create this contract. Boom, created. Now we need to create the NFT token. So we're going to attach some metadata here. We're going to give you a HyperMint mystery box. It's a mystery. It's going to be on hypermint.com. We're going to create 1,000 of these things. So let's get this thing created. It's been created. So we're going to check out the contract for a second. And this is my favorite part, is we get to push this shiny green button, the mint button. We're going to hypermint it. And we're going to hypermint it to our MoonPay.eth address. That's that long string, that ETH address there. Minted. Done. We've hyperminted. So now, you guys have 30 seconds. Scan this QR code. So you guys got a mystery box. You're either going to get this tote bag, you're going to get this bucket hat, or you're going to get this towel. And I hope you get the bucket hat. I ask if you get the bucket hat, I'd like to see a selfie. I'd like to say that you got hyperminted. So everyone here has been hyperminted. Thank you so much. Thank you, NFT.NYC. It's great to be a sponsor. It's great to be here. Let's continue to focus on building. Let's drown out the noise of the price movements. Let's keep building. Thanks again.